Good afternoon, YouTube. It is the 17th of January 2020, Friday afternoon here in Perth, so I'm actually on time for a change. Well, running a bit late for the day, but it is Friday. Okay, so let's jump straight into the review for the ASX this week. Again, it was a really good week for the XJO, which is the top 200 stocks on the ASX. The index was up 1.95% to close at 7,064.1. I was just actually watching earlier today. I watched my very first vid that I put up on June 30th, 2017, so about 2.5 years ago. And my first vid on this channel. Lots changed since then. But back then, the market was sitting at 5,723. So what are we up? We're up 1,300 plus points in the last 2.5 years, which, what would that be? Over 20%, 20 something percent. So yeah, interesting to look back at that old vid of me clean shaven, bushy tailed back then, and yeah, interesting to see how far the market has come in that time. Obviously the last couple of weeks in particular have been really good, and yeah, who knows where we're at. I did mention last week that it seems that there's a fair bit of positivity around the market at the moment, and when the mainstream media start talking about the market, that might be the next leg up, when the people who are not interested in the market at all start getting involved. I mean, we're involved, we're interested, we're always interested, but there's a massive section of the population that isn't interested at all, and when they think that there's an opportunity to make some quick dollars, they'll start getting in. And I said that last week, and that's when the bubble will start, when the rest of the population gets involved and the mainstream media starts reporting on it. And this week, just yesterday, I don't watch the news, but I just happened to see the start of the Channel 9 News here in Perth, and they were talking about the stock market and how it's at record levels, and how there's a bit of a buzz going at the moment. So I just thought that was interesting that the mainstream media is starting to report on it now, and these things can just be self-fulfilling and propelling over time. So yeah, maybe it's I've said it's going to be a good year. I predicted it's going to be a good year. It's all coming together as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, this week up another 1.95%. 164 stocks ended up. 34 stocks ended up down, and 2 stocks didn't get out of bed. Okay, so the top 5 for this week, the top 5 gainers. PNV, which is Polynovo, which I will touch on in a minute, up 21.89%. Now, I can't remember who it was, so maybe you can just remind me in the comments, but someone has mentioned this stock to me a couple of times, and I've never got involved. I'm really just not a lover of these biotech companies. I don't really understand them. I don't know how to price them. So as a rule, I stay away from them. But they've had a good week, and they've had a good year. Good last 12 months, up 21.89% this week. Elders, the second best performer this week, up 13.42% to finish at $7.10. APX, if you're watching, Connor, I know that's one of your favourite stocks. They've had a good week, up 12.35%. PME, which is Pro Medicus, very volatile stock. I think the very first vid I did, the weekly review vid that I did, when was it? I don't know. Was it? Boy, I can't even remember when it was. Probably October last year, was it? Whenever it was. Pro Medicus, I think, was the big gain of that week. I'm pretty sure it hit $40. So it obviously come back a long way from there. But this week, it had a good week, up 11.99%. And PLS, the lithium stocks, are going gangbusters at the moment. And that's been on the list a fair bit lately for the gainers, up another 11.76% to finish at 38 cents. Still obviously a long way off its highs, but the mood seems to be positive on lithium stocks at the moment. Now, just turning back to PolyNovo, the top gainer, reading their summary, the bit of propaganda that's put out by the company itself. PolyNovo Limited is an Australian-based medical device company that designs, develops and manufactures dermal regeneration solutions using its patented NovoSorb biodegradable polymer technology. Their development program covers breast sling, hernia and orthopedic applications. So obviously they're into skin. Dermal regeneration solutions. As I said, I'm not a doctor. I don't know much about these biotech companies, and it seems a bit of a crapshoot with them. I just don't know how to value them that well. Anyway, I was in one for a while there. What was it called? I can't think what it was called now. And it did quite well. I paid about $1.30 for it. I think I got out about $1.80. So I made a few bob on it, but yeah, I don't have these things. These sort of stocks can take years to develop, and maybe I don't have the patience. And yeah, after a while, I start to question myself about why I'm in these stocks. So, as a rule, I might trade them short term, but generally don't hold these sorts of stocks. But PolyNovo, look, they're doing well. They've had a really good year. If you have a look at their chart there, that's the last 12 months from early Jan last year to now. They've gone from about 50 odd cents up to near $2.50 with a peak there of around $2.65. That's a good year, up near enough, 400% there. So you can't complain about that in 1 year. So do your own research on them, have a look at them. They may be something that you can ride for a while. Okay, so let's look at the losers for the week. And the worst stock for this week was Nufarm, down 10.16%. It pretty much lost all that today after an announcement come out regarding their earnings. We'll have a look at that in a minute. VUK, which is Virgin Money UK, or the old Clydesdale, that was down 6.27%. PDL, which is the old BT Investments, I think it's called Pendle now, down 5.31%. SUL, that's super cheap, and it was down a little bit this week, not too bad, down 3.08%. And VEA, that's Viva Energy, down just 6 cents from $1.96 down to $1.90, which is just over 3%. So yes, you can see there that it wasn't too bad a week. Even the losers weren't too bad, besides the Nufarm dropping 10%. The rest, you wouldn't lose much sleep over. This is the announcement from Nufarm today, or a bit of it anyway. Just update on first half earnings. On November 25th, 2019, Nufarm advised that earnings for the half year ending 31 January 2020 were expected to be significantly lower than the prior comparative period. With an additional 2 months of trading performance now available, Nufarm is able to provide an estimate of earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization, which is expected to be in the range of $55 million to $65 million for the first half of FY20. So that's what they come out with. They're saying that they warned the market about it, but obviously the market didn't take heed, or their warning wasn't sufficient, because it dropped about 10% today. It's an interesting stock. It is quite volatile, Nufarm, but not one I pay particular attention to. I can't remember really the figures. I'm sure I've looked at them in the past, but nothing that excites me with this company. So not one. I don't think I've ever actually traded this company at all. So yeah, there we go. I was actually going to start putting out the data that we expect for the coming week, but there really isn't much next week. I think the only thing of interest was the jobs data that comes out next Thursday. Interesting to see that, to see where the unemployment rate is currently. I think it's fairly much expected to be stable over the last month. But other than that, there wasn't really a lot going on. Things just seem pretty stable in the world at the moment. So yeah, let's hope the market keeps going well. Okay guys, so thanks for watching. What's going on this week? It's actually my birthday over the weekend, so Turned 46, getting closer to 50 than 40, a little bit scary, but in all honesty, I haven't even really thought about it. So it's going to be, just another weekend. Really nothing too exciting. Might have a few drinkies tomorrow night. Celebrate. Anyway, have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you next week.